Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Hopefully this is going to be a very good video or interesting video for those of you that are racing Ironman Wales. And I'm joined by my tour guide, Finn Lorenz. How are we doing, mate?
Good.
Yeah?
Good, enjoying it.
Yeah, so I'm very lucky staying with Finn for the next few days, and we're going to do a full kind of course recce, and I'm going to document it as we go. So we're on the bike now, and then we're going to do, I think, run and swim tomorrow, and this is going to be all included in this video. And we are, well, we're like just over 10 miles in on the course, and this was, you would say, like the first proper climb. Yeah, so it's a bit of a grind, I'm not going to lie. I'm already not enjoying myself.
Yeah, so downhill to Australia, Pembroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the amount of time we've been going.
Yeah.
First proper climb, rough road surface, gets a bit steep at the top, you can probably tell by our slightly more laboured
Yeah.
breathing. Yeah, it's a faster section, but this bit, yeah, it's
Pretty slow. Yeah, so
sets the tone.
yeah, exactly. We're going to be documenting specific bits on the course, and I'm going to be getting as much info out of Finn as possible. I'm sure there's bits that he's going to want to keep to himself, but I have no idea who that was. But yeah, I'm going to put the camera away because my legs are burning. Yeah, we call that rattling. So Finn's just smashed me down a descent. And then where are we now?
About 8k out from Angle, I'd say.
Yeah, and this road's fairly straight, fairly flat, like a bit of a false flat, I guess. But the road surface is not great. It's okay, isn't it?
It's going to get worse. Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but yeah, so far we've been riding for like an hour. We're sort of 17, 18 miles in, and I think from what you've said, this is the bit that people ride too hard because they think that it's kind of be like this for the rest of the ride, isn't it?
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, this is can give you a false sense of security to a degree.
Yeah.
It gets harder than this, definitely.
Yeah. So stay tuned because I might blow up.
Yeah.
Fresh West. So you come down here. Actually, this road surface up at the top is really nice. You come shooting down here, and then we'll film it in a minute, but basically these sand dunes and the wind means that there could be a lot of sand on the road, so obviously keep that in mind. And then I'm guessing that's the hill on that side. Let me zoom in a little bit. How unfun does that look? That's even a word. So that's what we got to look forward to. 45-ish miles in, and I'll be totally honest, up until now it's actually been really good. I've been really enjoying it, like a bit of everything, quite undulating, but like some good sections to get some speed up, some good descents, some climbs, but nothing too crazy up until now. And the road surface has been sort of just classic British road surface. Some of them are good, some of them aren't so good, so you just got to keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, we're now starting to get to some climbs, aren't we?
Yes, so it's coming out Carey now, so yeah, it's just a warm up to now.
Yeah. This is where the real race starts. Wiseman's Bridge. Yeah. So we've dropped down to the seafront and now we're climbing up. And this is like one of the climbs that it's a bit more punchy, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say.
And then we drop down and go up the famous Heartbreak Hill, isn't it? So yeah, it's like, as you can see, pretty steady to start, and then 16%. Oh, that actually does look quite steep up there, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to enjoy this. Oh god. And also Finn has run out of gears. That's something to mention. Do you reckon I can... What's the KOM up here? Where's it go from here? So you swim, stop there,
so
that side of the rock.
You start the left side of the rock.
Yeah.
And you swim out basically towards that point, so where it sort of comes out right at the
out
end there.
Yeah.
Before it's sort of maybe halfway down there.
Yeah.
To level with where some of the further boats are.
Yeah.
Then you swim towards the lifeboat station. There's another buoy, maybe 50 meters
Yeah.
to the left of the lifeboat station. Then you swim back in.
Yeah.
Do a little Aussie exit and go
Do
back
that
and do it
again,
Yeah,
and
run
then
around the rock.
these are where all the bags are.
Yes, then you run up here, and the bags are all tied along the railings here, basically.
Yeah.
So you run up here, get your shoes on, and then you run through town for
That way for about a K or something.
Yeah.
Or is it longer than a K?
Yeah, they claim it's a K. It feels like.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be longer. Yeah. All right. Well, any tips for anyone in the swim?
Yes. So there will be one. As we get out here, there's the sighting points are quite obvious. One down that way, you should be able to see the buoy quite easily.
Yeah.
Going back here, you aim for the lifeboat station, pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Coming back this way, there's a gap in the buildings. You can kind of see there.
Just there.
It's a bit more obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the gap there. That's what you aim for. Because you think you'll be able to see Glasgow Rock and you see things,
you won't.
but you can't really.
Because it's pitch black in the morning, isn't it?
Well, once you get started, it's light when you're actually swimming. But the you know what it's like when you're swimming back, and it's sort of just a bit of a front. You can't really see the rock, can't really see anything. But that gap in the buildings is a really good.
That gap, right there.
Good, easy
Ideal.
to sort of see, so that's a good tip.
It's quite like an awesome place to swim because then I can imagine you have people just cheering the whole way along here.
Yeah,
like it's
it's
pretty awesome. Like
it's people sat still all along there on the pitch.
Yeah, awesome place for a race. We're out on our run and we're gonna, we're going out for like, I guess an hour, something like that, and we're just gonna look at the course and show you guys some key sections. One of the main bits obviously will be that bloody hill. But yeah, Finn's gonna give some tips again, but I've very much enjoyed my stay so far, and and yeah, looking forward to a run. Look at this. So this is towards the finish, and then you do loops out to the right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's down there. Yeah.
Yeah, down there for your loops, and then straight ahead.
Straight ahead for the finish
towards
line,
the finish line.
Hard to imagine now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So this will be red carpet, and
That's a red carpet.
look at that view.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Can't wait to finish.
Yeah.
This car park will be transition. It's where all the bikes will be racked. Yeah, it's called seafront car park. There you go. It's very hard to imagine right now, but yeah. And then so mountain line will be somewhere along here.
Somewhere here, yeah, and then you head straight on.
So this is the start of the main climb, and yeah, I mean, any tips for people?
Oh, just don't go out too hard.
Just don't go
Don't go too hard on the first lap.
Yeah, like 3k into the first lap, isn't it? And sort of this climb is like, you just say take it easy, I guess, or like just get through it.
It'll feel painfully easy.
Yeah.
But that same pace will feel painfully hard as
it goes on. Yeah.
Everyone goes too hard first lap.
Because yeah, right now, I mean, we're running up this and like, obviously we're going easy. Doesn't feel too bad, but I think on the fourth lap, I might be crying.
That's you usually anyway.
Yeah. That's me 10k into a run normally. Yeah. So getting to the top of the hill now, and you've got this little crest. It dips down and then up a little bit again, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Don't see flat from here, to be fair.
Is it like aid station along here, do you reckon?
There's an aid station a bit further up where you pick up your lap band.
Cool. Cool. So this is like, I guess, say the furthest turnaround point.
A bit further up there.
And then yeah, run all the way down back down and do it 4 more times. So Ironman Wales course recce done and done. That was an awesome few days, and I'm just going to say a massive thank you to Finn for showing me around the area. You probably had far better things to do over those few days, but thanks so much for dragging me around and showing me the place, and thanks so much to Finn's family and parents for having me around and just being so accommodating. I was probably incredibly irritating being around, but
thanks so much for having me. It was awesome to spend a few days in the area. And a big thank you to Finn's brother, Frank, who came out on the kayak with us when we were swimming and got some really cool bits of content, both photo and video. So thanks very much for that, mate. So throughout the video, Finn did go through some specific tips, swim, bike and run, but I just thought I'd sort of consolidate it, I guess, here, and hopefully give you some good tips, swim, bike and run now, and just give you some really good value to go away with if you are going to be doing Ironman Wales either this year or in the future. So start with the swim. First of all, I guess the big thing to mention is this is completely different to any other race that I've done. The transition area is actually quite far from the swim exit. So what they do is they make you put what's called, I think, the pink bag on some railings at the exit of the swim. You put some trainers on and then you run to transition. Now these are the trainers that you are running specifically to transition in. They're not the trainers that you use later on in the race. So you're going to need 2 pairs of trainers. And presumably just a pair of trainers that you don't really mind getting like sandy and wet, and they're easy to get on basically. Now what you can do is take your wetsuit halfway down, put your trainers on and run to transition, or take your wetsuit all the way off, put your trainers on and run to transition. The issue there is you've got to run with your wetsuit for about 1 kilometre. It's, you know, it's whatever you'd prefer to do basically. I think in my opinion, I'm just going to see what the other guys are doing in the group. If I do come out of the swim in a group, if guys are taking their wetsuits off, I'll copy them. If they're just going halfway, I'll probably copy them as well. But one thing to really mention is don't leave your pink bag because you will be disqualified. They give you stickers to put on the bag so they'll know exactly who it is who left the bags, and just really don't do that. Just take anything you have with you because otherwise you'll be disqualified. Like Finn said, is those landmarks. So you've got the lifeboat station, because sometimes it's quite hard to see the buoys when there's a bit of chop, or if you're sighting into the sun, or if there's just loads of people in front of you. So look for the lifeboat station, and then on the way back to the beach, there's that gap in the houses. And I actually think I pointed to the wrong gap in the video, but hopefully it'll be quite self-explanatory. But yeah, look for the gap in the houses. And make sure you're kind of sighting straight and not just following people in front of you. That's another tip that I would give, is don't just believe people in front of you know where they're going or are swimming straight, because the likelihood is they're probably not. Onto the bike, I guess the main thing that I've kind of taken from other people is the first 30 miles is going to be deceptive and you're going to want to push because it's slightly faster. It's kind of just a little bit undulating, but it's nothing too crazy. And I think maybe it's going to give you a false sense of security ahead of later on in the race, which is where you want to be saving yourself for, really, because that's where all the punchy climbs are. So biggest tip is just be sensible with the pacing, because early on in the race, you want to be feeling like you're going slightly easy, because later on, it's probably going to suck. Onto the run, I'm actually weirdly kind of looking forward to this run, which is a weird thing to say. I'll probably be hating it in the race, but there you go. It's a 4-loop run, and you do have that hill every single lap. And it's not crazy steep, but it does drag on, and especially at the end of an Ironman, it's gonna hurt. So as Finn mentioned in the video, just make sure if it's hurting on the first lap, something's gone wrong. So make sure it just feels easy, because 42k is a long way, and you want to be reserving effort so that you can be consistent throughout the whole marathon, not just absolutely hammer the first lap and then be absolutely sparked, because that would be a pretty horrible day, to be honest. Make note of where the aid stations are, like I mentioned, and if you can, just keep on top of the fueling. I know it's really hard when you're running. I find it quite difficult to take on fuel on the run, so the idea is I'm gonna preload on the bike and then try and maintain as much as I possibly can on the run, but just make sure you're continuing your fueling strategy, because it's a hell of a long day and it's a really challenging course. Another thing to mention, which I haven't used before actually, is special needs on the bike and run course. So that's something where you can put your specific fueling out. You can call out your number, I believe that's how it works, and a volunteer will go and collect your bag, and you can get your own specific fuel, which is really cool. If you're quite picky like me, that's probably a good idea for you. Hope you guys really enjoyed that video. If you have any specific questions with regards to the course, do drop them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to get back to as many of them as possible. And if there are any questions that I have no idea about, I'll get Finn to pop in and answer some questions as well, because he knows far more about this race than I do. But yeah, really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this has been somewhat helpful, and I really look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in Tembe on race day. So yeah, I'll see you then.